Hi, my name is Donovan. I'm the pastor for preaching at Imago Christi Church. I want to thank you for checking out our video blog. We're actually going to answer the first question this week, and let me read it to you. We're probably going to divide this into two questions. It really is two questions. The first question is, what is the relationship between man's need or desire to create and make things and our being made in God's image? Second question is, how does that play into the belief that God is in control of everything that happens? In other words, how does our creativity play in or relate to God's sovereignty or control? So really two questions there. I'm going to answer the first one today, which is, again, we find in ourselves this need to create, to be creative and productive. What does that have to do with our being made in God's image? Or does it have to do with that, really? And the answer is yes. We're going to talk a little more about that. Leviticus 19:2, this is God speaking to Moses, saying, "Speak to all the congregation of the people of Israel and say to them, you shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." In other words, you should be a certain way, for I am a certain way. There's a relationship there. I exist. I'm the prime cause. I'm the prime existence. And because of that, because of this ultimate reality that you get to reckon with, you should be a certain way. You should reflect that. And so that verse really speaks into not just holiness, whether or not we should be holy and why we should be holy, but also things like being creative. Be creative. Why? For I am creative. Be merciful. Why? For I am merciful. Forgive one another. Why? For I have forgiven you. We take our cues off of God. So in short, yeah, the answer to that is our desires for creativity, this capacity that we find within us is really a whisper or a testimony to the fact that God is creative. And I want to take a minute to speak a little bit about what that means now as we go out in the world and be creative, or be holy, or forgive one another, or be merciful. It's not an end in itself. We don't go out just to be creative. We don't do art for art's sake, although that's a nice thought for some people. And we don't be merciful for merciful's sake. We don't forgive for forgiveness' sake. We do it to tell a story about the forgiver. We forgive, and when people ask, why are you doing that? You say, there's a forgiver. We be merciful. When people ask, why are you doing that? You say, there's a merciful God. We be creative in our arts, in our communications, in our studies. And when people ask, why are you doing that? You say, because God is creative.